Hello and welcome back to another video for Final Fantasy XIV, covering more items added to the game, this time in patch 7.21 Cosmic Exploration. And there's a reason we're here at night time in the rain, and that's to look at our first item. We're looking at the housing items today. So specifically, there are two items that you can actually get with just Cosmo credits from a vendor. Those include the Stellar Lamppost and also the Cosmo Chair. Both of these will cost you 3,000 Cosmo credits, or your white currency that you can obviously get by doing your stellar missions. The other items, of which there are three, but I've got a million drafting tables, these three items, the Cosmo Table, the Cosmo Lamp, and the drafting table, as most of you will probably be aware because it's quite common, all come from the spinning of a wheel minigame that costs the blue Cosmo credits to actually spin 1,000 at a time. And they're kind of like the consolation prizes, apart from, you know, the mount and, you know, the minion and the costume and all that stuff. So let's have a look at the Stellar Lamppost first, which is our first and only outdoors item. And it says, though this piece of illuminating infrastructure has been specially designed to function in the icy vacuum of space, it is still not rated for licking. Yes, I'm not really sure why you would want to lick a lamppost, but, you know, it takes all sorts these days. Let's have a look what this lamppost looks like in our FC garden. And hopefully it's nice and big. And it is. So you might have seen these in various places. They do use this model. The only thing is, it's kind of difficult to tell that it's even there because of how much other infrastructure on the moon looks kind of similar. But when you take it off the moon and put it in your house, wow, I mean, that looks actually really, really cool. This is going to be probably one of the cooler items that I might keep in my FC garden, because we don't have a lot of lighting for outdoor spaces. You know, we have other lamps and stuff like that, but this has some nice soft lighting. You can just about see that below in the dark, which is the reason why we've chosen to record in the dark. And it is somewhat directional as well. You'll notice as I pan this around, hopefully that's coming on YouTube, it is a conal, almost 180, a little bit beyond that, just around this area, but this section is much darker. So it is a conal light. It is very nicely detailed as well. If we go up close and personal, it is a little bit overexposed with the light up close and personal, but in the daytime, you know, this will not be as bright. And then the back of it has this sort of orb at the top. And we also have lighting upwards as well. It's basically a sheet of hexagons, if you look at it, like lots of little LEDs, which is quite realistic, really, isn't it, if you think about it? But yeah, it's quite nice. It provides decent lighting, and it's a great one to add to our collection, for sure. And to top it off, if you don't particularly like the grey sort of silver-white colour, you can, of course, change that. We are only changing the base metal, though. We're not changing the colour of the illumination. It would be cool if furnishing items in the future got a pass to give double dyes. This is something we've talked about before. It would be really nice to see that. And yeah, we've got obviously some nice reflective things. If you want a bright pink lamppost, you totally can. It goes even brighter with neon pink. But yeah, it's quite nice, actually. It's quite subtle in the right places. I do think that it's going to be difficult to create that kind of science fiction esque flooring with everybody's floor outside being grass, though. It'd be nice if we got other templates or more housing slot allotment so that we can put other things down to fill the grass space to make it look, well, less grass. You know, if you want this, you kind of want like a moon floor. Different texture settings for the flooring would be really, really cool. But yeah, there we go. That's the lamppost. Let's move inside out of the rain and have a look at something else. All right, so we've got 4 items to look at then. I think we should look at the table first, which says this furnishing is designed to minimize the possibility of spills in low-gravity environments. Unfortunately, technology capable of compensating entirely for laporite error remains far in the future. I love these little text write-ups. I hope people don't mind me reading them out, but there we go. It is obviously a dyeable furnishing, and it looks like this. And I honestly think this is one of the coolest tables in the game. I love the colors of this. In fact, let's get rid of the lighting. So estate settings. No, it's not estate setting. It's interior settings now. I keep forgetting where that is. There we go. So now we have all of that illumination. Look at that. Wow. That little ring. The only way this could be better is if it was even quick, like you could change the speed of the animation, but it does rotate around. As you can see, the colors are slowly rotating a little bit. Yeah, there's the blue following the blue. It seems like they go from one side to the other, like they flow into each other, look, from 2 directions. So it's not like a circular flow. It's like an emanation from this point and this point, which is quite cool, actually, isn't it? Very trippy. Very, very cool. But yeah, I thought we'd have a little demonstration in the dark. Oh yeah, there's your disabling of SSAO, by the way. But let's put it back on so we can get a better look. By the way, that is something you should definitely look at because it does affect how things look significantly, especially on this item. When they added the screen space ambient occlusion to the game. So this is with it sort of turned on. So you can see all of the little grooves and the shadows are actually filling up a lot of the detail. It looks almost like marble. You turn it off and it gets quite flat. Quite flat indeed. I mean, you keep the same detail technically, but it's a little bit more jagged on the edges because of that. So if we disable that, turn it back on rather, then we get a nice look at the table. I think it's really cool. I really like this. It is a very funky table. And to go with the table, we have ourselves a really funky chair. The Cosmo chair. Again, 3,000 Cosmo credits, so white credits for the Cosmo chair. This would be a spin reward for 1,000 blue credits. So for the Cosmo chair, an interstellar travel-ready seat with a futuristic yet still appropriately leporine design. Wow, I can't speak. Let's have a look at this then. So this is what the chair looks like. And the same sort of thing is going on here that we had with the table. We have that emanation of light flowing down the backrest, kind of like the lumbar support here. Got it cutting off at that point. It's a really painful looking chair, but it's certainly something that we've seen before. I'm fairly sure the Laporites used these in the Ragnarok on the cutscene, or at least something that looked similar to this. Look at that little details like the height adjustment or backrest adjustment. Yeah, it looks pretty painful to sit on. It's kind of like one of these DX Racer chairs or something. It looks pretty good. Obviously designed to look like a sci-fi spaceship seat that you would get in Star Trek or something like that. And of course, if we kill the lights once again, then you'll get a better demonstration of that lighting, which looks pretty good, doesn't it? It looks pretty good, and especially on the background. So you see these things together. Yeah, it's quite a nice match, isn't it? So even if you had like a low light condition sort of situation, yeah, it looks nice and glowy. Nice and glowy. But yes, very cool. Right, and then the next thing on our list, let's just tuck that under there for a second, probably there, is a lamp. So this is the Cosmo lamp, which again is another blue scripts, 1,000 at a time, spin on the wheel, you know, your cosmic fortunes, and you could win this consolation prize. It's the Cosmo lamp, an energy-efficient lighting appliance with a design reminiscent of a solar system. Really? I haven't looked at this one yet, actually. Let's have a good... Oh, wow. It kind of reminds me of a Tesla coil. I said that about the actual big versions of these that you see on the moon, which I guess are power generators or something. But, wow. Okay, that is very, very bright. I am surprised how bright that lamp actually is. But it's got a sort of nice yellow coloration to it, if you like yellow lighting. Kind of like the spoke. Now, from a top perspective or up close, you will start to notice some pixelation on this that isn't seemingly found on the other pieces. But it looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty good. We got our little dome at the top, and then obviously we got the same spiral design that we have on the leg, and my OCD is killing me. That is not centered at all in the slightest. But yeah, don't worry. Oh my, I've made it worse. Can we snap to grid this? Let's just snap to grid the table and then snap to grid that. Perfect. That's better. You'll thank me later for that. If you're anything like me, you can't stand it. In fact, I think that is designed to go together, isn't it? Because you've got the bottom spiraling up, and then the spirals continue up above. Very, very nice, actually. But it is two separate pieces. So, obviously, lighting, let's turn that off again to give you a better demonstration. Oh, that's really nice, actually. That is really nice illumination, considering what we had before without this. You could make a nice quaint little corner with just this lighting. That provides so much yellow light. It's quite surprising, actually. Quite surprising. And of course, we've got the, you know, luminescence shining on my character's suit as well. Yeah, they've done a really good job in Dawntrail with the lighting pass. I think it's phenomenal, quite honestly. It makes this old game look semi-new, to be honest with you. Right, let's have a look at some of the colors then, because we can obviously change some of the colors here on the furnishing. So of course, with our chair, we can change the color of this to whatever our heart desires, and that's going to obviously change the metal sort of gray, and we can have this anything we want. So if we want a bright red space seat, we totally can. Yeah, it's nice, actually. Nice reflective thing. It's almost got a stone texture to it. I suppose it's metal. It's like a metal texture, but it reminds me of the stone texture that they use for a lot of the other sort of stone oasis items and things like that. Looks pretty cool, though. Very cool. Yes. Oh, the green is... Yeah, that would probably be awesome to use, especially if you're doing like an alien spaceship or something. And then, of course, we have the table itself as well, which is also dyeable. Which will share exactly the same sort of color choice, right? Because it's the same texture quality. Let's get up nice and close to that so you can get a better example. And yeah, it looks pretty good, doesn't it? In a variety of different colors. Nice solid colors, and I like the accent of the RGB. Basically, I love RGB when it comes to things in real life. So it's pretty cool to see it on... yeah, so if you wanted like a gaming experience, one thing they need to do is add the gaming stuff, well, the PC and the desk and the gamer energy drinks and stuff that's in Solution 9 right now to the game as furnishings. I mean, we've got the vending machine, but it'd be cool to have more stuff. Dawntrail has the opportunity to fill out our science fiction scratching of itches, doesn't it, really? Hopefully they deliver with some of the other furnishings we have seen. And then I believe the lamp is not dyeable? No, it is not. So at least with the table, you're only changing... Oh, you are changing the base as well. That's surprising that the lamp is not a dyeable thing. That is really surprising that the lamp is not a dyeable thing. Huh. Yeah. Because if you change the color of the spokey bits on the bottom, the top bits can't be changed for the lamp. And then the final item is actually these drafting tables, and you can see I've got 4 of them here. I've actually ended up, well, throwing them away. They're worth like 56 gil, and they're on the market board for the same price. It is an incredibly oversaturated market on these because they are the most common item, apart from fireworks and cordials, that you will see on the wheel of misfortune, as we should call it. This is a slanted desk suited for drawing up engineering designs. Now, I do actually like this item. It's just very, very, very common. You see it a lot, and it is a really nice, sizable item. So I would expect in the far, far future, this will go back up in price. Hopefully. But at the same time, you know, whilst cosmic exploration is a thing, that's not going to happen. But look at the details on this. So I've got like a shark class submersible here, chilling out, or at least some kind of submersible. We've got the air, you know, the ether dynamics or something of turbines and all of the intricate, you know, information that we can't read. I don't think it's literally, Yeah, there's no way of reading any of that, is there? But it's really cool. And there's the size comparison of man versus submersible, which is kind of cool. It makes me wish that we could actually do submersible missions by hand, like actually get into the submersible and go on voyages, which is what I originally thought the voyage system was going to be many years ago. And we got an angle poise lamp, which is always cool. I used to have one of these in my bedroom when I was younger. Yeah, these are incredibly expensive now, you know. But this was also the thing for engineering desk. You would have an angle poise because the spring-loaded thing meant that you could adjust this down slightly and it wouldn't drop, it wouldn't droop. A lot of lamps you try to position and they just sort of don't go where you want them to. This was the engineer's solution, and you saw this pretty much in every single engineer's workshop. Everybody who was making everything from flooring or, you know, architecture stuff, and many places still have them, or at least modern versions. But the old spring-loaded ones were the best, and they're now setting an absolute fortune. I think it's like in the antique market. And I love the extra detail, because this is the same fastening that I remember, you know, with the vice grip basically to the desk. It's really well detailed. Really well detailed. I love this as well, like the serrated... I used to get my fingers caught in some of these. I've had these on desks and things as well before. Look horrible and sharp and painful? Yes, they are. So when you try to adjust this, you put your hand behind here to lift up the bar to then move it over here, but you end up catching your finger on one of the barbs. Yeah, good old-fashioned way of doing things. Awesome. So you can lie this flat, obviously. I'm rambling a little bit, but I'm fascinated by how much detail is actually put onto this texture. Then we have the two drawers here, and then, of course, we've got the actual stand. And then beautifully, they've gone into extra detail with some of the pots and pens and brushes and ruler and bits and pieces. We've got a Bombling pencil topper. Remember pencil toppers? Oh my goodness, did he still make pencil toppers? And there you go. If you look closely, you can see they are actually pointed pencils. We've got a ruler here, a little bit of a paintbrush that I can't see the bottom of. Yeah, it's just a stick. And then, of course, a traditional pencil with a rubber on the end. And, yeah, obviously magnifying glass. Don't think, yeah, it's just an opaque lens. It's pretty cool, though, isn't it? It's pretty cool. Sorry. I know this is, like, the most common item you can get. And I know some of you are like, why are you so excited by a desk? I don't know. I think it's because I've had one of, you know, these situations in real life. I've seen this. Or bits of it. I like the Meteor logo on this as well. Looks really good, doesn't it? Honestly, not a bad selection of items. It's a little bit disappointing that one of the cooler items is also the easiest to get, but also at the same time, it's good for people who just want to not do the content and get something cheap, because you will be able to get it very, very cheap on the market board. So in terms of the drafting table's dyeability, of course, it's going to change the wood grain effect. So on the drawers there, and obviously the tabletop itself, but yeah, and it keeps some of the darker metal as well, which is a separate color, obviously with the stand itself. Yeah, it looks interesting, doesn't it, in different colors? Very interesting. Don't know. I'm not sure what I would choose. Probably just a different brown to match whatever you know, like office space I could create. The one concern I have with this item is, and it's really nitpicky because, I don't know, the only thing I would improve, you know what I'm going to say, I want to turn on the lamp. That's what I want to do. I want to turn this amazing lamp on and bend it. But there we go. Good height. I don't know about Lalafels. You're probably going to need a step stool. But yeah, very cool. Very nice section of items, including obviously the lamp outside. Let me know if you got any of these. I know for a fact if you've been doing cosmic exploration, you've definitely got this one. So yeah, let me know if you're excited by any future things they might add, and hopefully they continue to just keep adding more science fiction stuff or even more practical things like this. It would be awesome. Anyway, much love. Thank you so much for watching this bit of a ramble video. I'm passionate about a lot of things in Final Fantasy XIV, and I hope that comes across. But I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.